Ladies and gentlemen of the interweb, if you thought Minority Report was science fiction, if you thought this man was anything less than a used car salesman, if you thought they were joking when they said they will send social workers instead of police, I ask you to behold Zoran Mamdani's vision of the future of New York.
Every New Yorker deserves to be safe, and today I'm announcing a plan to deliver exactly that. Public safety is created by stable homes, good-paying work, and well-resourced neighborhoods. Addressing these issues are at the core of our campaign. But we must also aggressively pursue evidence-based strategies that prevent violence and crime before they occur. I will create a Department of Community Safety, the DCS. This new agency will coordinate a whole-of-government approach to protect New Yorkers like never before. We will invest in citywide mental health outreach and crisis response, expand gun violence prevention programs, address hate, and tackle homelessness. The DCS will make public transit safer, placing dedicated outreach workers in our subway stations, transforming vacant commercial units to provide medical services and connections to long-term care, and investing in transit ambassadors to assist New Yorkers on their journeys. There will be visible, trained teams in our subways. Their presence and their work will make all of us safer. Police have a critical role to play, but right now we're relying on them to deal with the failures of our social safety net, which is preventing them from doing their actual jobs. It's one of the reasons so many crimes are left unresolved. New Yorkers deserve a leader that treats public safety with the seriousness it deserves. I invite you to learn more about the Department of Community Safety at zoranfornyc.com.
Oh my goodness. I was biting my tongue to not talk over that thing. This is straight up Minority Report. Has everybody seen Minority Report? If you haven't seen Minority Report, allow me to not be able to play the flipping preview for you because I closed the window. It's Minority Report. They're going to stop crime before it starts. They're going to have transit ambassadors. Can you believe the euphemisms of stupidity in all of this? Now I'm going to play it a little bit again and just stopping it at certain places to highlight the insanity. We can stop it here. Let's hear. Here we go. We must aggressively pursue evidence-based strategies that prevent violence and crime before it occurs.
But we must also aggressively pursue evidence-based strategies that prevent violence and crime before they occur.
What the hell is an evidence-based strategy? I mean, I know in theory, in a world where things make sense, what an evidence-based strategy is. This is verbal diarrhea, like when you're trying to describe the features of a car and you're like, oh yes, it's got the ultra-reflective bug repellent panel, also known as a windshield. Evidence-based strategies to prevent violence before they occur. But listen,
I will create a Department of Community Safety.
A Department of Community Safety, also known as the New York Police Department. I'm going to create an entirely new department because the one thing that's lacking from the government is it's not big enough just yet. It doesn't have quite enough departments just yet. This is really hilarious, actually. I'm going to take this out for 1 second just to share a highlight. We're homeschooling my kid. And I should say we are homeschooling our kid. My wife and I are homeschooling our child. We made it together. It was fun. And I take him fishing this morning. I'm calling the Florida Fish and Wildlife because I want to know if there's any place where I can pay for testing to determine heavy metal or toxicity of the fish that we catch out of the Everglades because I want to eat them. But I read somewhere that you're not supposed to have more than one serving a month. And if there's anything on earth that you can't do more than once a month because it's that bad for your health, I'm not going to do it once a month. You know, eating the fish out of the canal are not that good and savory and delicious that I'm going to do it once a month just for the sheer pleasure of it. So I call up Florida Fish and Wildlife. I say, hey, I can't find any online testing kits. Do you guys do it? I'll pay for it. They're like, oh, you want to call the Department of, I don't even know what, a Department of Environment? And then I call them, they go, oh no, you want to call the Department of Agriculture. And I call them up. It's like, oh no, you want the, it went literally for about 20, 30 minutes, just one department to the next. And I'm like, oh, my son, you see how this works? This is the blob of the government. One department after another, overlapping tasks, no communication between all of them. And after 30 minutes on one department to the next, I still don't know where I can send a fish to get it tested because I'm curious to know what the levels of mercury or whatever the hell else, aluminum metals in the fish. So yeah, the one thing that the government is lacking is departments. The federal government and including state levels, biggest employer in the world. Okay, hold on. So they're going to create another department. of Community Safety.
The DCS. This new agency will coordinate a whole-of-government approach to protect New Yorkers like never before.
A whole of government approach to what the hell are the police then for? Oh my goodness, this is a man selling you a lemon of a car and telling you it's the best car on earth.
We will invest in citywide mental health outreach and crisis response.
Mental health outreach and crisis response. Okay, that's also known as the ambulances, emergency medical responders, EMSs.
Expand gun violence prevention programs.
Expand gun violence prevention. They're not taking away your rights. Don't you see? It's the framing. They're not taking away your rights. They're expanding gun violence prevention, which involves taking away your rights. Oh, here. What about this one?
Address hate and tackle.
Address hate. Did he say address hate violence or address hate? He says hate.
Address hate and tackle homelessness.
Funny, he says address hate, and then the wording is address hate violence. All violence is hate, Mamdani, just to set that out there. They're going to address hate, also known as censorship. More deprivation of rights. It's not going to be long before in New York you're going to get locked up for a mean social media post like in England.
The DCS will make public transit safer, placing dedicated outreach workers in our subway stations.
Dedicated outreach workers in the subway stations. This is what I love. Well, transforming vacant units, I think we can all appreciate.
Transforming vacant commercial units to provide medical services.
Also known as clinics and hospitals, but set that aside.
Connections to long-term care.
Here.
And investing in transit ambassadors to assist New Yorkers on their journeys.
Transit ambassadors to assist New Yorkers on their journeys. I'm going to stop it now. I think we've had enough of this. Transit ambassadors. Hello, welcome to the subway. How can I make sure that you don't go stabby or set a sleeping woman on fire? Oh, what's that? You're going to do it? Can I talk you out of it? Oh, what's that? You have a knife and a gun and I'm a transit ambassador unarmed? Police, National Guard, hospitals already exist. What this is a way to waste your flipping tax dollars, make a fancy way of saying we're going to address all of the terrible problems that exist because of our terrible policies, all of which involve getting bigger, more powers, and suppressing your rights. That is the vision of future of New York under Zoran Mamdani. Holy sweet merciful hell. I said it's the Mamdani report. That's what the future of New York should be called. The Mamdani report. Elect me and I'll tackle the crippling homelessness crisis in New York. I'll tackle the crippling violence on subway stations in New York by creating a new department, diverting the police, because apparently the police can't do their jobs, which is solving crimes, because they're overworked. That may or may not be an element of truth to that. But to suggest that they can't resolve the crimes might be because there's too damn much of it. And what you don't need are transit ambassadors, and what you might need are cops on the subway system, maybe the National Guard, to prevent New Yorkers from shooting, stabbing, and setting other New Yorkers on fire in the metro station. And maybe they're not necessarily even New Yorkers that are doing this, as we saw with the setting of fire and a number of the other situations of egregious violence in these United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. How goes the battle? Viva Fry, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler. I went fishing this morning. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me show you the fish that I caught. It was a good one. Did I get a picture of it? Here we go. It was a what we call a native bowfin. And there it is right there. It was pretty good. Released to go make more bowfin babies. And the kid caught a peacock. A nice little peacock, right? Come on, focus. Whatever, there's a peacock bass in there, people. All right, that's the peacock bass. And then we talked about the government. We talked about basic math, all related to baseball cards. And that's it.